I quit gaming because I thought it was holding me back. I believed that if I removed games from my life, focus would show up and discipline would follow. For a moment, it looked like it worked. But instead of coding more, instead of building what I actually cared about, I ended up spending dozens of hours on something even worse. Something that looked responsible, something I didn't even notice was happening. And I went into this with a very specific belief. And I don't think I'm alone in it. For years, the advice has been the same, especially in game dev, tech and productivity circles. If you quit gaming, you'll finally have focus. If you remove distractions, discipline will just show up. And honestly, I believe that, because I've heard other developers say it, I've seen it in videos, and I've even told it to myself. The idea was simple. Gaming was the problem, so if I removed it, everything else would fall into place. No, my motivation wasn't quit gaming forever. It was more practical than that. I wanted more time. More time for game dev, more time for my projects, and to actually sit down and create instead of feeling like I was constantly preparing to create. In my head, gaming was stealing those hours, especially in the evenings, so I thought, if I just remove it, the rest is obvious. I genuinely thought that my evenings would transform overnight without any internal debate or resistance. I would just have deep work by default because I had to do something productive with that extra time I now had. I imagined sitting down after dinner, opening my editor and getting into the flow without any friction. Like the only thing stopping me was a game. Gaming goes away and focus appears. Distraction disappears and discipline replaces it. And I remember thinking, gaming is the thing standing between me and my best work. That was the hypothesis, and on paper it made total sense. But what happened in the next few weeks was very different. The first few days actually felt good. There was this sort of clean break feeling. And I was finally doing something about this time-sucking activity I've had in my life for a very long time. No gaming anymore. Some moments there were temptations, but I had this quiet sense of discipline and motivation of wanting to better myself. And to be fair, I was more productive. I got a few things done that I'd been postponing for several weeks or even months. I followed out previous conversations and messages, cleaned up some loose tasks that had been sitting on my to-do forever, and even made a bit of progress on my projects. Nothing huge, but enough to feel like the decision was actually working. I didn't expect my evenings to be as productive as my mornings. As long as I got a little bit done or made some sort of progress on my projects, I was happy. The first week felt like momentum was building. Like maybe this really was the missing piece. But the evenings started to stretch out. The work was done and the simple tasks were finished. But I was too tired to keep working on my projects, but too restless to watch a podcast. And there was still a lot of time left. And that's when I noticed something strange. I wasn't excited to keep working, I wasn't tired either, I was just bored. I'd sit at my desk in the evenings, having technically done everything that I planned to do that day. And instead of naturally flowing into more deep work, I just felt restless. So I do what felt harmless. I'd open up YouTube, see if a new fun video was published, just to relax a bit. One video, something light and something short. And that's when the illusion really started to crack. Because on the surface, this looked like progress. Gaming was gone. I was being disciplined. I wasn't doing anything obviously bad, but internally something felt off. At first it did feel like progress. But it was mostly novelty. And when that novelty wore off, something else quietly took its place. What surprised me wasn't that gaming disappeared. It was how fast something else actually took its place automatically. It always started the same way. Something light, something I could justify after a long day. A devlog, a video, or just a podcast clip. Or some other form of random entertainment. And the dangerous part was, it didn't feel like a downgrade. If anything, it felt responsible. I wasn't gaming. I wasn't, in a way, wasting time. I was learning most of the time, or at least that's what it looked like. I'd watch someone else build a game or improve their business, seeing them solve problems and making progress, and my brain treated that almost like I was doing the work myself. But there's a huge difference between watching progress and making progress, because while they were shipping features, I was just sitting there, consuming. What I didn't notice at first was how quickly the hours stacked up. One video became free, free became a full evening, and suddenly it was late. I was tired, and nothing I actually cared about had really moved forward. At the end of those evenings, I didn't feel relaxed or fulfilled. I felt mentally full and creatively empty. And if you looked at it objectively, the pattern was obvious. Gaming time went down, video consumption went up, and the total amount of escape time stayed almost exactly the same. That's when it really hit me. I had just picked another form of escape, and once I saw that, it forced me to ask a way harder question. Was gaming even the problem to begin with? Because the more I looked at it, the clearer it became. Gaming wasn't the worst part of my evenings. What replaced it actually was. Because for me, gaming is active. You're making decisions, solving problems in Factorio and Satisfactory, reacting in CSGO and Overwatch, and failing when you lose and then trying again. Even when it's just for fun, your brain is actually doing something. Because there's friction involved. You commit to a session and you engage actively in that session. It's very obvious when you're gaming. And passive consumption is the opposite. It's low friction, without any commitment, with no real start point, and it has no clear end. Just one click after another, or maybe you just use autoplay. And that's what makes it dangerous, because it's almost invisible while it's happening. The most dangerous version of this, it was watching other people doing the exact things that I wanted to do myself. Like building games, or coding, or even improving their own businesses. Because watching that feels productive. Your brain gets the signal of progress, but nothing actually moved forward. Passive consumption gives you the feeling of effort without the actual effort. The satisfaction without the struggle. And over time, that's way worse than gaming ever was for me. So this is where I stopped blaming gaming altogether. I wasn't addicted to gaming, I was running on autopilot. Most evenings I wasn't choosing anything consciously. I wasn't deciding to game, I wasn't deciding to go watch YouTube, and I wasn't deciding to go work either. I was just drifting towards the easiest available option in that moment. I was avoiding friction, the effort it takes to start something that matters. Because starting real work is uncomfortable. You don't know exactly how it will go, you don't know how it will turn out, and you don't know if you even make any sort of meaningful progress. So your brain looks for certainty, and certainty usually lives in defaults. Gaming used to be that default. When that disappeared, something else took its place, because it was the new easiest. That's when this realization really settled in. Removing a habit doesn't create meaning, it creates space. And space reveals your real patterns. And what that space revealed for me was simple and uncomfortable. When I didn't consciously choose how to spend my time, my brain chose avoidance. The problem was letting anything become the default, because defaults don't care about your goals, they only care about comfort. The solution was to change how I choose what comes next. Once I understood that the real issue was autopilot, I didn't feel the need to completely eliminate gaming anymore. Because the truth is, I didn't actually quit gaming entirely. Over the whole month, I did play games 4 times. 2 short solo sessions and 2 longer ones with friends. That's it. And that's when a really important distinction became clear to me. Solo gaming and social gaming didn't feel the same at all. When I played alone, it usually came from the same place as YouTube. Like trying to avoid something, escape friction, or just fill up some time. It wasn't something that I actively wanted to do. But gaming with friends felt completely different. It felt intentional. It was about connection and shared moments. And because of that, gaming slowly stopped being a reflex. It stopped being something I defaulted to when I didn't know what else to do. It became a choice. I started asking myself a simple question before opening up any sort of game. Do I actually want to play this right now? Sometimes the answer was no, and I do something else. But sometimes the answer was yes, and when it was, that was completely fine. I didn't walk away from this with a new set of rules. I had no new strict schedules, I definitely had no new productivity system. What changed was my awareness. I don't aim for zero gaming, I aim for fewer defaults. And that's the real shift. Gaming is no longer something I do just because the evening is quiet. It's something I choose, or don't. I put it into my schedule and plan it into the day. And that applies to everything else too. If I'm defaulting, I pause, because that usually means that I'm avoiding something. And ask another question. Is this rest or is this avoidance? Rest is intentional. You feel better after it. It makes you more grounded and more present. Avoidance just makes time disappear, and you feel vaguely worse when it's over. That distinction alone has changed how I spend my evenings. One thing that helped a lot after this experiment was friction. When I removed gaming, I had something that was ready to take its place. Not something too easy, but something a little bit uncomfortable, or something that made at least a tiny bit of progress. For me, in the evenings, that usually means chatting with a friend, writing, even badly, or experimenting with new ideas and starting before I feel ready. If you remove a habit and don't replace it with anything, your brain will fill that space for you, and it will usually pick the lowest friction option available. So I don't try to control my behavior directly. I control my defaults. What's easy, what's nearby, and what's already open. And once I did that, gaming became something I could enjoy on purpose. I didn't suddenly become a machine. What changed was awareness. And awareness works differently than motivation. It changes what you notice and over time what you choose. And it would be going against everything I've said if I redirected you to another video. So instead, take this as an opportunity to go work on your own projects and make progress instead of watching another video. If you found it useful or helpful, make sure to subscribe.